Hello everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to Tuesday, at least Tuesday here in California. If you're on the other side of the date line, it's probably Wednesday or something. So welcome to FMtrain.tv, where every day at this hour, we spend an hour learning about the FileMaker platform and how awesome it really is. FileMaker platform is great. It does a lot. It does things that other tools only wish they could do. And that's a true statement. And so we are broadcasting in high definition 1080 to Discord, to YouTube, and to Twitch. So it's not even like a simulcast, it's like a triple cast at 3 different venues. And so it's pretty cool. So if you have questions, feel free to join us, ask questions. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, you're going to have about a 90-second delay from the time I say something and you see something. From the time I say it or do it to when you hear it and see it. Does that make sense? So just keep in mind that if you have a question, feel free to, if you can, put it in context. Like about this, what's the question, right? Because remember, I'm going to see the question at least a minute or two later. A good group of people here. It's very exciting. The FileMaker community is a great community because there's a lot of people here that put out demos, they create things, they share. It seems like almost every FileMaker person, one way or another, I mean, unless you're brand new and learning, but you're always trying to build stuff and share and learn more. And it's really a great community. There's a lot of creative people in this community. Some of the top people in the community are frankly creative types. They play instruments, multiple instruments. Go to your top FileMaker people, or people that are successful, that enjoy it, that love the job. You're going to find that they speak a foreign language, or more than one language, I should say, whatever your language is plus another one. Or they'll play musical instruments, super common. More, I would say 60 or 70% of the people do that. It's very common. So if you don't play a musical instrument, don't feel bad. Let's talk about upcoming broadcast schedule, and then we're going to jump over to our topic today. So we're doing great FileMaker stuff here. One of my jobs, I have a lot of jobs, but one of my jobs is to work with Margaret, who's probably not on the broadcast here, and have her come up with me with the upcoming broadcast schedule. So if I go to FileMaker, I'm going to come over here. I want to show you this because I need your feedback for topics, right? So let me show you the inside secret sauce right now real quick on this. I'm going to take up my current broadcast schedule. Nick is going to be off for a month. So a bunch of you who only love Nick, it'll be your big chance to take a vacation and disappear for a while because Nick will be off on vacation. Basically, I've got him carved out quite a bit at the time. So he's today, tomorrow, Joe Martin from 360 Works. Joe's an awesome guy. He's got a sense of humor. And then Thursday, basic document management for FileMaker developers. I'll be there. I don't know if anyone's going to help me or not. Probably Margaret can help me. We'll have her do that, help me as well. Then Friday is open Q&A. We've been plucking questions and answers out of the FileMaker FM forums, and we're going to take a swing at answering some of these questions on demand. Monday, custom theme shared style with Nick Hunter and myself. We're going to be talking about that. Talking about it 18 and 19 both. Should be interesting. The next week, Nick Hunter starts 4 days. It's first 2 days of transplanting your brain, right? Merging FileMaker files, bringing them together, the fastest way to do that. Then next Thursday, it's blank on the screen right here because we're getting it locked in. Jonathan Ray will be in talking about a sample file, about improving calculation performance just by change. It's basically kind of a lean design kind of conversation, except when a normal person comes and comes up with lean design, they're like, oh, I got this really fast way and it's so much faster, blah, 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 blah. And then if you look at it in totality of everything else we've learned in this channel, we realize it's kind of a Nick Hunter lean design thing. So it's kind of a little bit of an implementation of a Nick Hunter lean design thing. That's Thursday. Friday, interesting conversation. I'm asking all of you to give feedback about the FileMaker, how you got into FileMaker. Right? So Megan got into it. She shooting a video about it. She got into it totally by accident. A lot of you have stories. If you have an interesting story, write it down. Give me a paragraph or two about how you got into it. And not a book, but a couple paragraphs if you want, and send it to support RC Consulting. I'd love to share the story. So Friday is going to be kind of open Q&A, kind of a news day. And then I want to talk, just because it'll be fun. It's Friday. Talk about how you got into FileMaker. What are the craziest stories of how people got into FileMaker, right? Everyone has a very similar story, so it's I want to compare stories and look at that a little bit. Nick, are you there?
I'm here.
This is not for, so let me give everyone an update on what's going on with this. Today we're trying to carve up a demo file for everyone. So here's Nick. He's on a different. Hang on. Let me flip sides. All right, Nick. I'm on the other side. You have to look at the other way. Look at the other way. Look. Turn your head the other way. There you go. Look at that way. You have to move your head and turn the other way.
Yeah, but I can see you.
There you go. There. Just pretend you can't see me, but everyone else thinks we're talking to each other. Okay. Hi, Nick. How are you? We're great.
I'm good.
We're good. All right. So real quick. So Michael, so what Nick has done is he's taken this file that's got a lot of sensitive information in this whole reporting file, and we want to make sure people get this. My goal would be to give it to him tomorrow if possible. Michael, I know that you were still studying for some tests. Michael's one of our junior college students, and he's taking some sort of like warp speed math in the next generation with Elon Musk. Some sort of math class is really difficult. I had explained to him the other day that 2 plus 2 was not 4, it was 4 and something else, and he didn't believe me. So the point though is that, Michael, if you have time in between your exams, we need you to help with a sample file and get this put together. Nick is going to clone the file, clean it up, and then you need to put some sample data in for it, and if you can do that, that'd be really helpful. And you need to kind of report. So watch today and watch what's going on today, and then start finding, because we have some sample data in the Dead Bird and some other places, come up with some sample data so you can load it in. That way people get a file that actually will create a report, then they can take it apart. Once again, here I am investing to help everyone out on the free live stream. So there we go. All right, Nick, you're up. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for joining today. So yesterday we learned about creating the table of content, right? So table of content is all about, it's a dancing kind of around the fire between, it's all about the thinking, so I can repeat a little bit myself. Let me share my screen real quick here, because I want to refresh the mind of people. Okay, so table of content here is that we know when the page is starting, because we know when the previous section is ending. It's the previous section and the end of the previous section that gives us the page where the section is starting. Okay, so it's always this. So you need always to prepare to set the present to prepare the future. Okay, so it's pretty much this. Okay. And then you refer always, when your future becomes a present, you have to refer to the past. Okay, so it's this dancing like this, is buckled like this, you have to do. Okay, so that we learned that yesterday. But now what I want to do is to show you how we do the page numbering, right? Because you can see here, I have multiple.
I'm covering it with I'm covering it with your little name down there, so no one can see it. I got to move it out of the way. Okay, now you're set, right? Page numbering. There we go. Go.
Yeah, page numbering. So page numbering.
Yep.
It's very important because now I have the table of content. So now more than ever, the page numbering is very important. Right? And of course, the page numbering here match this. Is if I come to the page number 21, I must find the project feasibility. Otherwise, I'm completely off. So if I go 21, I'm in the project feasibility. So I'm good on this, right? So it's the thing works. So it's very important to match this with this. So of course is when you are counting this, of course I'm counting on those things to give me the page numbering. Okay, so the table of content is something I'm running apart. It's not a table of content, it's a process completely apart. So let me show you the scripts that it looks so much about FileMaker that okay, so let me show you the script. Okay, so the script is here. Generate the report. Okay, so here, remember yesterday I told you that I'm preparing myself. Say, okay, this is check if. If this and this not existing, or this, if there's none of those in my report, in the present situation, present context, if I have none of those, I don't want them to happen. So that's why I'm setting up this field, this variable here. Say, okay, if that's project, if that's feasibility, if that's TEARC, if that's overview and this management. I need to know that to prevent the thing to happen. Like here, see, I say, okay, if this, then you do this. If this, then you do this, right? So this is how you do. This is how you prevent things to happen. Of course, you say, okay, Nick, why you don't do that for all of them? It's because only those can be present or not present. Only those are optionals. Okay, all of the others are mandatory. They're there. I cannot have a report without something there. It's not possible. So that's why I don't put the. I don't try to assess something that is not going to happen. Okay, you never do that. You never do that. Never try to do something when you know it's not going to happen. It's not necessary. So here is what can be or not be there. Okay, so that's why I need to count on this. So to come back to the table of contents. So you can see the generator of table of content. It's a process that I do completely apart. Because otherwise, if you try to have a giant script like this, where you do everything at once, I tried and it was impossible to manage, too complicated. And FileMaker script workspace, the way it is built, you arrive in a way where you reach the limit of the how the software is presenting things, and then you start having a big problem. So it's better to switch to split in multiple scripts. Okay, that's why I call that subscripts, right? So I have multiple subscript here. I have subscript means script that I'm cloning from another script, right? So I have a script, a main script, which is a generate preliminary report, and then within this one, I am launching subscripts. Like this one, for example, the 0182 is launched there. 0182 is launched there, right? And then I'm launching here. I'm launching the 0181, okay, from here. So those two are generated from the what's the name from the script. After that, I have the overview, the preview. So that's something I'm going to show you later. The preview, it's very cool. So I have those two subscripts that I'm launching from that one. Okay, so I'm generating the table of content. This has been done to yesterday. Okay, we did that, and then when this is done, okay, I need now to take care of the what's the name? Take care of the page numbering. Okay, so I'm using the same technique as I use for the table of content, because doing this, you don't need to think twice, right? The table of content, I repeat again, is just about go to the layout, switch in preview mode, and count how many pages you have. Get as many, get the repetition number. Then you can set a repeating field, right? And then you set the count page with whatever this count of the layout, how many pages you have in this for this layout kind of a printout, and then you report it. You report whatever you had already plus the new one. I mean, you start with page 2, for example, then you add 3 pages, you land at page 5, and then you add 5 pages, you land at page 10, and then you add 2 pages, you land at page 12, etc., etc., etc. This is how it works. You count and you pile up as many pages you encounter. It's okay, I watched page 5, now I add 2, I'm 7, I add 5, I'm 12, and etc. So it's like you advance like this. So I'm using the same technique for the page numbering here. Okay, so how the page numbering is working. Okay, so each time that I'm jumping from section to section. You remember I told you the report is multiple layouts. It's an aggregation of multiple layouts that I am printing and saving one after one, right? I'm saving the front page, then I'm saving the introduction, then I'm saving the highlight, then I'm saving the strand, the risk, etc., etc. So I'm saving multiple times in a sequence like this. Right? So each time I'm jumping from one kind of page to another one, okay? This is jumping to another layout, okay? Each time I'm doing this, I'm jumping to another layout. What I'm doing here, I'm doing exactly what I was doing in a generate the table of content. I'm going there, right? I'm setting all my stuff, you know. I save the records as PDF because now I want to save. Now it's time to save things. In the table of content, I was just counting the pages. Now I'm saving it. Okay. Then I still need to know the number of pages. That means when I start, I'm starting 0. Okay, like reset the counter. I'm starting on 0. I reset the counter, start 0, count page 0. That's how I'm starting. I'm starting at 0. Then I'm going to the front page, right? Then I'm saving the front page. Then I'm counting how many pages the front page has. I know that the front page has 1. So what the thing is doing, I'm setting this field, which is a page count, the count page here. I'm setting whatever was in the global, whatever was there already, plus 1. I set up this at the beginning at 0. So that means this is 0. Take the 0, and add whatever in the script result. And this will have resulted to 1. So 0 plus 1, very easy calculation, is 1. So that will be page 1. Okay. So now I am in the front page, okay? Page 1. So here what happened. I don't have a page number on front page. So let's continue. Let's continue where it's getting more juicy. Okay. I'm going to introduction. I'm doing the same thing. So this page 1, okay? We're on page 1. Okay, no problem. Then I'm going to the layout instruction. Okay. I'm saving the records as PDF. Okay. And I'm counting the pages. And I know by fact that those pages are 3 pages. Okay. So here I'm putting this was 1. Okay. So I'm saying whatever was there, that means 1 plus whatever this result is 3. So that means this field now becomes 4. This field becomes 4. Okay. So I continue. I go to highlights and I say, okay, I go to the layout, highlights, I save the records, I count the number of pages, and then I said, okay, I was 4, take the 4 and add whatever this one is saying. This one says maybe 3 pages, so this becomes now 7. 4 plus 3, right? Okay. So each time I am landing here, so you need to understand this. It's very, very critical that you understand what's going on here. This field here, when I'm setting this field, I am preparing the count of the page numbering of this guy. This guy here is preparing the page numbering of this guy. This guy here is preparing the page numbering for this guy, etc. So this one always prepares the page numbering of the next demonstration. I'm landing here. Let's say I'm landing here, and at the bottom of the layout here, I have my page numbering. Okay, page numbering, and this page counter. This in this table. Page counter is a calculation. Okay, it's a non-stop calculation. Yes, I know, no problem, not a big deal. It works perfectly well. You don't need to go with JSON and stuff like that. Just you go calculation and stored. It works perfectly well. Why? It's because, and Richard, if you're listening, you will confirm. I'm using get page number, which is, pretty much painless for FileMaker, and I'm referring to a global field. Okay, so faster than this. A calculation cannot be faster than this. It can't, you know. So you don't need to apply all the technique, the 7 technique to get that done. You can have a page number, a page counter as an install calculation, no problem, no big deal. So what is doing? Okay, I refer to this. So remember, I'm getting the page number, okay, and I'm adding whatever this global field is telling me. Okay, so did I close? No.
Nope, you're still here. Nope.
Yeah. So let's say I'm landing in this layout, and this layout has 3 pages. Okay, and let's do something funny here. My script says that I don't remember which one. What is the preference? Pref. Okay, and this pref. Page number, count page. Okay. This field here. I'm saying, not saying for. Let's say I'm saying when I land here, I am page 7. So this one, I mean, the page before the highlight, remember what I was telling you? It's the end of the previous section. So it's the end of this section, the introduction, the end of this tells me that I'm ending at page 7, which means that if the previous section ends at page 7, this one starts at page 8. It's 7 plus the page number. If I get here and I said which page number I'm in here, get page number, I'm in page 1. Okay, this is the page number 1. This is what I am. I'm page 1. Okay, so, and if I go preview mode, I'm in page 1 here, right? So 7 plus 1 equal 8. I go there, next page, it's 9. Why? It's because 7 plus 1 is 7 plus, I need to refresh. 7 plus 2, I'm in page 2 now, page 2, right? If I go next, I said, get page number 3 plus 7, I'm page 10. Understand? So I am positioning myself. I'm printing this page, this set of page. Okay, I'm printing that set of page. I print it. Okay, I count the page. I have 3 pages, right? The previous section was ending at page 7. I put the 7 in my global, right? Then I have a calculation, the page counter, that say, okay, whatever in the global plus the current page number. So 7 plus page 1 equals 8, 7 plus page 2 equals 9, and 7 plus page 3 equals 10. Okay. So now the script says, remember my script. Okay, cool. I am in highlights. I am setting my global now, not 7, but 7 plus the 3 page you gave me from the highlights. So it's 7 plus 3. So now for that section, my page count is not 7, it's 10. This script now is 7. It says me the global was 7. Cool. Now is whatever the 7 you have there plus the whatever count of this that gives you. That means 3. So now it's page 10. So you guessed it, strengths and risks now, it's page 11, because You know what? So each time you count and you add and you count and you add and you count and you add, you count and you add. And then you, for the display, you don't have to take care of the display. For the display, you don't have to go to the replace field or whatever. No. You use the FileMaker standard behavior, okay, to get the page number. So you rely on the FileMaker get function, get page number, but you add something at the page number. Yes, it's still the page number, page 1, page 2, page 3. So that's 2 pages here, right? Is page 1, page 2? Yeah, but plus 10. I mean, the calculation here is easy. Page counter. It's the page number, page 1, page 2, that FileMaker gives you for free. Yeah, but plus whatever in the global. So you put 10 in the global, you have page 11, page 12. You put, you put 15 in the page, in the global, you have page 16, page 17. And it counts one by one, because it counts the page number. FileMaker will return exactly the page you're in. So you don't need to take care of how many pages you have, because FileMaker will give you the where exactly you are. And that's why the technique works very well. It's the mix of the get function plus the global, and you care about the global, and then because you cared about the global, everything flows, right? So I don't know if you have
Agent Chevy had a question from a couple minutes ago. He was saying, so basically Nick is doing exactly the same process with the table of contents process, except that in the second process he is printing the actual pages.
Exactly. I'm doing twice the same thing. Here, instead of printing, I'm setting the table of content, okay? But this, and this is exactly the freaking same thing. That, and that, I'm doing it. That's the same thing. So I'm doing the same thing twice. I'm going there, I'm counting the page, but instead of printing, I need to set up the table of contents. You say, okay, Nick, why you don't print right now? Why you don't print right now? Oh, yeah, because the table of content need to be before the printing. And FileMaker doesn't give me the ability to say, oh, by the way, save this in the PDF at page 1. I can't do that. It will append in the flow. So I need the table of content to be printed before the report. So I will never know the complete table of content if I don't run completely at the end of the report. So I need to run once at the report, get my table of content, and do it again to print it. And then I can print my table of content, right? So the table of content need to happen in full before, okay? But it's simple. That's why I wanted to come with a page numbering counting system, okay, that rely on the same technique as the table of content. Then you don't have to think twice, It's the same thing. You copied this. You copied this. Actually, the table of content is very simple. When you get that done, you duplicate this, and instead of saving, you put this instead. You put this. It's very simple. Now you understand how you do this, but it's kind of simple but the clue is count on the page number, because I need to know each page which number is. The page count is useless here because I need to know this is page 1, then page 2. There's only one get function that do that, get page number. I'm in page 1, I'm in page 2. But if I add it's like a balance of a bank, You start the month with $10,000, you have $1,000, you have $11,000, okay? So it's the same thing. You start the month, you start the section with page 10, so you add 1 page, you have 11, and you have 2 pages, you have page 12. So it's it's that's how it works. It's very simple.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
and actually this technique goes way back, right? For those of you wondering about this. So a lot of times we show stuff that works with newer versions of FileMaker. I did something like this for Sybase Corporate. It was a company called Sybase. I did this for them to print their catalog in 1993, 94. I built this for them in FileMaker 2 or 3. And it's been around that long. And so, and this is the modern version of it. So if you're one of those people that refuse to update past FileMaker 14 or 15 because you swear it's the best product ever, then yeah, you can still use this, right, Nick? So
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I started using this technique. It was FileMaker 5.0, something like this.
Yeah.
We can use that since a long bit of time. We don't use anything new here, right?
Yeah, no, there's nothing new here.
No, I mean, it was much more complicated back in the day because we didn't have the variable. We didn't have,
Yeah, we had to set this stuff in the fields, right, and then play with.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
right?
We need to set up fields. Actually, I had another file. Remember, we couldn't have multiple tables, right? So I had a file for that, and we couldn't open more than 32 files at the time, and I was juggling with 60 files. I was closing, opening, closing, opening, up. Yeah, it was kind of nightmare, but it was working. It was working well, actually. So the question, Bilbo, I say, if we could insert, I think the PF manipulator maybe do that. I don't know. I try to not overthink things when when I have a built-in FileMaker solution. I don't, generating the table of content up front and then printing the report, it doesn't bother me, because it's this is long, but this is the same as this, is the same as this, is the same as this. It's the same thing. You repeat yourself, right? That's it, right? It's just a succession of repetition of the same, right? So it's not so what you need to learn this. Okay, that's it. That's what you need to learn. You need to know what this is going. You need to know, if you don't, in this construction, if you don't know that this guy is used for this guy, you get confused, right? But it's at the end of front page that I'm telling you, okay, by the way, front page ends there. Ergo, if that guy ends there, these guys start there. You know what I mean? These guys start where this one stopped +1. That how all what he's doing. Right?
Okay. So Stu is asking, how long does it take to generate this document? How many pages is it? It's pretty fast.
It's very fast. This document with all the pictures, with everything, it takes less than 15 seconds to generate.
And how big is it? Like 50, 80 pages, something like that?
Yeah, it's
it really depends upon the content of the layout. I think these scripts are pretty quick. I think the system has to render the content.
Depend on the picture. It's the picture that's
because sometimes Nick is putting photos in here. We covered that last week, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about.
Yeah. So you have a lot of things. So when you have a lot, because this report has 48 pages, but it depends what you have. All the text, if you strip out the picture, is almost instant.
Right. Well, the thing is, okay. So once again, I'm going to pivot here briefly, right? So it's pretty quick, but Michael, we want to put sample data in here, right? We want to replace this stuff, right? I don't mind having these terms here, but like when any company names, right? Things like that. We need to make sure that we swap that stuff out, and then we put some, pictures and charts and stuff in here, whatever, so we can make this. People get a good sample file is the goal. So everyone, you see me assigning the sample project to Michael. So in the event that somehow it doesn't get done, don't blame me, right? Michael. So yes, but it's pretty quick, yes.
Yeah. No, it won't be difficult. And I can help to know how to introduce the pictures here. So the last thing I want to show, if we don't have any question here, how long do you think? Yeah. So it's very okay. Yeah. Here's something I want to explain. Okay. Look how simple this is, because I want to bring that up because it is very freaking important to me that you understand that everything we do here is with simplicity. If you don't do simplicity, there's no way you can get that done. No way. First of all, if you want the table of content, you need to slice each section of the table of content need to be a layout. Period. Okay. If you want to try to do a table of content within one layout, good luck with this. Call me when you're done. That means in 10 years. So I will be retired by then. So each layout, it's a piece of simplicity. Okay, each layout. What's complicated here? You have, absolutely nothing complicated here, right? So yeah, this is what the test I was doing yesterday. So there's here, for example, okay, I have a little bit more complicated things. I have two subsummaries sorted by, which is okay, right? I have a sorted by type and sorted by deal paragraph, right? So you have for each type, you can have multiple paragraph, and then you have a body, right? So it's very simple. Okay, it's not, there's nothing complicated. There's nothing like, oh my gosh, with a crazy relationship and stuff like that. Here, yeah, we have some construction a little bit more elaborated. We have a portal here that we print, and then we have this that we print, and then we have a succession of fields that we print here. You notice that here I'm using a trick, and it's very cool. Instead of using records here, because all of those here you have records here. Instead of trying to replicate this, because this pretty much is the row number 1 of this, right? And then you have the row number 2 of this portal, and then you have the row number 3 of this portal. Instead of doing this, instead of using a portal with giant, remember to see what we do sometimes, we do that portal with giant rows like this, okay? It's a pain in the way, where to get that working. It's a pain. Don't even try. It's a pain when you have, if you want to do this portal, that means repeating, the thing that is a pain. So what I'm doing here, I'm transferring the records of this portal into a repeating field. So I pretty much get each record, the first record in the first repeating, the second record in the second repeating. Why I'm doing this? Because then I have a field. Is no longer a record. It's no longer a record. It's a record, but within a field, right? And then I can deal with it independently, right? It's independent. Okay, so another technique maybe you don't know, and then I can show that to the more junior people. When you have a repeating field, for example, stack legend, it's a repeating field. Okay, stack legend. If I go there, stack legend. Okay, stack legend. It's a repeating field. Okay, this guy here, it's a repeating. So if I go there, you can see it's a repeating field. I have 10 possible. Okay. When you have let's put that on the side here. When you have a repeating field like this, and you want to show only the repeating field number 2, okay? And those are, you see, those are what's the name? You want only one, okay? This is one of those things. You want only the number 2, for example. You go there and you say, okay, I want the 2 to 2. So you show the number 2. If you want the number 5, you go 5 to 5, right? You can cut this, right? You can get one of this, or you can say 1 to 7 if you want. Then you have 2. You have 3, 5, 6, 7, right? But you can say 1 to 5 to 5. You have 1. So you can have one that says you duplicate this, and then now you have the 6, and now they are separated. So you have 2 repeating fields, but they are separated. Okay. So then you can arrange the way you want. Okay. When you want to do that with a merge field, it's even simpler, because you can just do this in the merge field. I can just zoom a little bit. You can do this. You want the number 2, number 2. You want the number 7. You have the number 7. So brackets, number, bracket, and then you have the repeating field you want. For the number 1, if you put number 1 here, it disappears, because you don't. If you leave like this, you have the number 1 by default. If you want more than if you want the next one, you need to put 2. But number 1, if you put 1 here, it will just say, okay, you don't want any numbers.
Which, for those of you wondering about this, implies that every field you've ever created unless you're dealing with a repeating field. It's always a repeating field. It just is limited to a single position, a single
Yeah.
layer, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't have to have the one. It removes it for you, but that means you're always it's always there. Go ahead and put it back in, Nick, before, and then don't click out. Go ahead and put the one back in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always there.
It's always there. It's like one of those like revelations in life. It's on every field, everywhere, but FileMaker hides it.
Yeah.
But if you understand that, that means that you can always apply an array to it. It's called an array, and you can get more than one, right? Which is useful, but it also is the road to hell and flat file systems and non-relational databases is paved with repeating fields. Repeating field was FileMaker's original Claris's, the original Claris before the current Claris, the original way of compensating for the lack of a relational system.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And you can do something like this, you know, 2 columns from 1 to 5, 6 to 10. You know.
Yeah, that's actually a good technique right there too.
Yeah.
People want to.
It's cool. Sometimes it's useful to transfer a record to repeating field. So I don't remember here how I did this.
So
it's just a calculation. It's an unstock calculation. Sometimes you don't need to, because I tell you why I'm using this. Because I use that only for I'm using that only for printing. That technique, okay, is only for printing. And I know that I will have like 11 record max related. I cannot have more than this. In this relationship here, the stack, the capital, what we call here is capital stack, I can have 11 record top. That's the max I can have. So I control the. Remember what I'm saying? Numbers is key. Number is key. Okay. If I have 11 million records, unstock calculation, okay, bye-bye, sayonara, goodbye, Broadway, okay? But if you have 11 records, unstock cab, don't overthink that, 11 million record, no. You can do that. Otherwise, you need to, you stay there for 2 years to display this. Okay, so it's very simple the way it is. You get the value, so you get the list of the values, and then you calculate the repetition number. You get the calculation repeating number, and then you get the value based on. So let's say you have 10 values. Okay, 1 to 10, and you have 10 repeating field. Okay, the repeating field number 1 will get the record number 1. The repeating field number 2 will take the record number 2 automatically, because we have the get calculation repetition number. By the way, the get calculation repetition number works only and only on calculation. It doesn't work on the auto entry calculation or whatever. It needs to be a calc. Actually, that's the only reason. The second reason why I'm using a calculation here, it's because this technique here can work only on a calculation, not on the auto entry calculation. Doesn't work. And you can, of course, have a calculation that shows multiple repetition. Okay, so this is how this is worked. So you can learn about this here. Do we have any question at the?
Well, I wanted to make sure that Megan was paying attention, that she learned something, because this is really, if you're an intermediate developer and you've never done complex, reports with pages and sections and stuff. See, when Nick brought this to me, I'm like, yeah, I did that in 93 or 94, whenever I did that for Sybase, right? But literally, I remember this technique. For me, it was like, oh yeah, but for some of you, this would be like brand new. It's like brand new ravioli, right, or whatever we want to call it. So Jake is saying that Megan is no longer available, so we've lost. Anyone there have any comments about this, or is everyone asleep? Do we care? Just horrible. I mean, I'm going to give you folks a sample, and then you can recycle it with your customers.
David Angel, it's a song. Goodbye Broadway, Hello Paris. It's a song from the Second War. What I'm saying here, goodbye Broadway, hello France. Okay, it's Goodbye Broadway, hello France. That That was a song for the American soldier living, to combat over there in France, in Normandy.
For World War II, because we had to dig you guys
Yeah,
up twice.
that's the song.
Right, yeah.
Goodbye Broadway and Hello France. That's
Yeah,
the song you can find on iTunes.
Nothing like digging people out twice back to back. All right, cool.
Yeah. So that I'm referring to this many times. I like the reference of this song. So and it's pretty much what when I say goodbye Broadway, it's been like more likely you're not going to come back. so that's what I imply saying this.
Yeah.
So the something I want to show you before we go is kind of cool. Actually, I'd love to do a demo on this okay, this page is long. It's the how I'm alternating odd and even numbers.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's I'm using the mod function. Okay. So when you do this, it's even. Okay. And when you do this,
yeah, for those of you who missed this, he's moving the pages. So like when we print the book, so here, let me cut this is because of where that's at on the paper, left and right, Nick. Is that what you're doing here?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Let me explain this real quick. So for those of you real quick, so this always screws me up with the book too. So as we're working on the book, you'll have pages that some of the page numbers are on the top left for you, right? Or top left, and then over on this page it's on the top right. It's odd and even, or even and odd, or whatever it turns out to be. And so you have to some way. Now if you're just printing this and stapling it, then it could be in the same spot. But if you're actually binding the report and you flip a page and you're printing on double-sided, like pages like are double-sided pages, then this trick that you're seeing from Nick is very clever. I love this a lot. So go ahead and show it one more time, Nick.
Yeah. So because this can be assembled as a report. Actually, they were doing that during the time. Now they don't do that. No, nobody's printing anything anymore. I mean, it's let's be honest. I'm spending a fortune with my printer. You know why? It's because I print so never, so less that my cartridge dries and then I have to replace it.
Yeah. In some businesses that's true. In some businesses there's a paper requirement due to government regulation, right? Yeah. So, yes.
But no, I mean, and that's why I have this, is because if you need to print it and assemble it as a book like this, right? Mm-hmm. A nice report, bind it, like this. Mm-hmm. You want the page number to be at the extreme of each of outside of the page, right? So the outside of the right page is this, the outside of the left page is this. So that's why I'm doing this. So the technique I'm using here, I'm using the mod kind of things. Okay. So I'm going to have a course because the mod is super cool when you want to calculate, for example, how many you want to convert 12, the American hours into our 24 hours, 12 hours in 24 hours, for example, right? Or you want to calculate how many months in a year, or you want to calculate how many days in 7 months. You put 5 months, half days, how many days you have there, right? So to do this, you use the mod function, which is very obscure function, by the way. Yeah, but there's always a function for that. Remember, I was using this slogan when I was doing my presentation at the DEF CON when I was there. It was the time 2010, 2011. Apple was saying, "Oh, there's an app for that." You remember?
Oh, yeah.
That was the motto.
Oh, there's a function for that. There's a function.
Yeah, and I was saying that's a function for that. Yeah. So most of the time, sometime what you should do, because that's what I'm doing, I'm going to the help and say, okay, by the way, do we have something that could do that? And you explore a little bit, and sometimes you have obscure things hidden in the financial, okay, or here I think the mod is in that. Where the mod is? Is in numbers, I
number,
think.
there
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
in number. So you have a lot of things here that you can use. Okay, we use all the the floor with ceiling. We use that a lot. But sometimes you have great function in design. By the way, you have a very good function there. Function that I use a lot. Okay, we all know the get functions. Okay, in miscellaneous, it's I don't know why they put that in miscellaneous, because this git this that should be I don't know. But in design and in you have pretty good stuff. But here, pretty much that's what you say. If it's equals 0, it's even. If it's not equals 0, it's odd. So, and you hide and show depending on what this returns.
Yep.
Okay. So this is very cool. It's cool because it makes what's the name?
It makes the obsolete printing with the dry printer cartridge thing work really well in the event that you actually have to print.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's true in my cartridge. Actually, I tried to print something yesterday, and damn, I have to order a new one. It's brand new. I print maybe 2 pages with this, but 2 months later, it's dry. And especially in California.
Damn it, Peter Geens, do not encourage Kyle Williams to write a custom function. You're going to say you'll write a custom function. Probably Kyle will promptly try to outdo you, and it'll be a custom function showdown.
With Kyle, we have the custom function of the custom function.
Yeah, the custom function of the custom function, which does JSON, which is case sensitive. So it's Kyle. So.
And then you have a SQL database, and then you have a SAP system connected to what's it?
That was Claris. Claris used SAP for a long time. I don't know if they still use it or not. But they used it.
I don't want to know. I don't want to say what they use. They used to be okay. I remember
they use Salesforce for selling, but I don't know what they use for actual budget management.
I think they use Salesforce as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's always funny. It's like, hey, we got this really great tool. What do we use? Oh, Salesforce.
Yeah. They were using FileMaker before. The prime. Okay, here the prime. What happened?
But here's the thing. They're still using both. They use FileMaker for parts of it, but they use Salesforce for other parts of it, because when they brought the new sales guys in, they didn't have time to build a system. They needed an off-the-shelf sales system. That's where Claris and FileMaker gets, it's custom as long as you can build it. But if you don't have something off the shelf ready to go, then you've got this challenge, right?
Yeah. No, it's the problem is they have a very special. They have developers over there, like Jeff. Jeff and
Benjamin. He's still there.
Yeah, Benjamin. Okay.
And Darren's still there, and Jimmy's still there. I think.
But I don't even know if they're still there. I mean, they were.
Oh, I talked to Darren the other day. He's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But the veterans, and they're in the system they have is kind of very it's so tailored to them as developer after 20 years working on those files that nobody understands what's going on there.
Well, it's like, it was. I'll just I'll share one story, then we'll leave. So we have this thing about backing up every hour and restore from a last backup, and basically it was made clear to the IT people down there that they were never going to be allowed to restore from a backup. So it's kind of a funny thing. So let me switch this down. So I'm like, so you guys have this system, and when it crashes, you just run the crash file, right? And you have this very heated argument, and they couldn't ever lose any data, and it was too fat and too unwieldy to make backups on a routine basis. So they back it up once a day, just on general principle. And if they crash, they run the crash file. So what would happen if they corrupt the file or there's something damaged in the file? They pack the file up. They go from the second floor where they're at down to the first floor, or they go across from one side of the first floor to the other side of the first floor to the engineers, and they tell the engineers to use their special secret tools to straighten it out and decorrupt it and then put it back on the server. I kid you not. So it gets back into one of those like inside the sausage factory, which this is a building that's not there anymore. The teams have changed, blah, blah, blah. The point is that unless you actually have your own FileMaker developer, engineers like coders standing by to damage a file, and even then I could argue is probably not the best use of the engineer's time. Backup every 15, 20 minutes, buy a big fat server, back it up fast, snapshot it, and then restore from the last backup. But, so anyway, crazy thing. So anyway, I'll let everyone go. It's a good day. It's a lot of information. It's 10 minutes after the top of the hour. We are past our time. All right, that's it for now, everyone. Catch you tomorrow on another awesome day. See you.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.